Hi, it's Dina Rich, broker associate with Keller Williams Realty on South Padre Island. Buying and selling real estate is one of the largest financial transactions that most people will make in their lifetime. A licensed agent can help guide you through the buying and selling process. These days, most buyers and sellers begin the process of selecting an agent by doing their research online. So when you're browsing online for a real estate agent, what should you look for when you're trying to scout out the best agent for your specific real estate needs? The rest of the uniform doesn't fit anymore, but the hat and the sash still do. First, let's talk about agent experience. In the last few years, since the real estate market got hot, so many people have decided to earn their real estate license. As a result, the profession has become flooded with new and inexperienced agents. Let's take a look at some numbers. There are nearly 50,000 Texas real estate agents who now have less than 4 years of experience. And approximately 1 in 4 Texas real estate agents has less than 2 years of experience. Now, I'm not picking on new agents. We were all freshmen once, and we remember what that was like. But the pace of our current market creates some unique challenges, and it's very difficult for a beginner. Next, let's look at agent commitment. I often hear people say that they got their real estate license because they wanted to work part-time and set their own hours. And while it is true that real estate agents work as independent contractors and we don't have a boss that sets our own hours, personally, I've never felt like I set my own hours. You know who sets my schedule? You do. When I began in this profession, I made a commitment to respond to calls, texts, and emails 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time. Do I really work 12 hours a day every day? Not usually. Sometimes I work a little more than that. But the point is, this is not the part-time, set your own hours job that some people think it might be. Many Texas real estate agents do not exclusively work full-time in real estate. For over 2/3 of agents, real estate is not their only job. And the number of hours an agent dedicates to the profession will be reflected in their sales history. 6% of Texas real estate agents closed no transactions in 2021, and more than half closed 10 or fewer transactions last year. So think of it this way. Do you want the surgeon who's operating on you to have performed less than 10 operations last year? Or do you want that surgeon only moonlighting as a surgeon and holding down a couple of other extra jobs? Now, I'm not saying that real estate is a matter of life and death, but again, it is one of the largest financial transactions that you'll make in your lifetime. So when you're researching agents online, you can use sites like Realtor.com and Zillow and look at the sales history of an agent, and you can see how many transactions they have closed recently. And now let's discuss something that I think is extremely important, especially as applied to the South Padre Island area real estate market. And that is the concept of geographic competence. A Texas real estate license allows an agent to work in any market in the state. But just because we can doesn't mean that we should. I'm often contacted by real estate agents from all over the state, and they have a buyer or seller who wants to buy or sell property in this area. Those agents do not have access to our local market data, and they ask me to send them the information that they need to try to help their client. Not only do they not know market trends, but many of them are unfamiliar with resort area property, especially condominium. Buying or selling property in a resort area that will be a second home or an investment property is very different from helping someone buy or sell property in the primary home market. Let's see what the National Association of Realtors says on this topic. Our Code of Ethics clearly states that we should not provide services in geographic areas or property types that are beyond the scope of our knowledge and experience. And the Texas Real Estate Commission says the same. In fact, an agent could have his or her license suspended or revoked for doing so. You would think this would be enough to stop some people, but I can tell you that, sadly, it is not. So when agents try to work unfamiliar markets, I wonder if they're putting their need for a commission check ahead of your needs and ahead of their fiduciary duty to you. The proper thing to do when we are asked to work markets in which we are unfamiliar is to find a good agent in the local area and refer our client to that agent. It's just the right thing to do. So when you're doing your online research on sites such as Zillow and Realtor.com, as you're looking at a sales agent's history, pay careful attention to the areas in which they're selling the most properties. Finally, let's discuss agent education. Depending upon the type of license and when it was earned, most Texas real estate agents and brokers are required to complete a certain number of professional development hours every few years. Some do the minimum, and some go beyond. The alphabet soup that appears after an agent's name actually has great significance. Agents can earn specialized credentials called designations and certifications. They require extensive coursework, sometimes as little as 8 hours, or sometimes as much as 90 classroom hours. And there is an exam that must be passed. I like to think of designations and certifications as being kind of like scouting badges for real estate agents. We even get little lapel pins when we earn them. Here are the designations and certifications that I currently hold. I feel like I'm in an episode of the Brady Bunch. So when it comes to scouting out real estate agents, do your research. Find someone who is experienced, committed to the profession, geographically competent, and well-educated. You know, thinking back to my Girl Scout days has gotten me hungry for some s'mores. I've got my graham crackers, marshmallows, and my chocolate bar. So if you'll excuse me, I have a campfire to start.